It's likely that no one ever alerted you to this if you're over 60. Certain cheeses may be gradually strengthening your bones, improving your memory, and soothing your digestive system. Others, though, one seemingly harmless bite at a time, they may be doing the exact opposite, silently increasing your blood pressure, clogging your arteries, and taxing your immune system. At first, you won't notice it, not as a symptom or a pain. However, it exists, building quietly. What's the worst? One of them is most likely in your refrigerator at the moment. The truth is that not all cheese is made equal, and the difference widens dangerously after the age of 60. Recent research published in the Journal of Geriatric Nutrition suggests that the correct type of cheese can strengthen your heart, lower inflammation, and shield your brain from age-related decline. The incorrect kind, though, without you ever recognizing the cause, it might be laying the groundwork for long-term fatigue, elevated triglycerides, and stiff joints. In order to promote strength, clarity, and vitality, we're dissecting 3 cheeses that every senior should stay away from in today's video, as well as 3 that you should eat. These aren't trendy foods or diet gimmicks. These natural cheeses are tried and true, and provide genuine nourishment for the aging body. They are richer in nutrients that support a healthy system, easier to digest, and lower in sodium. Therefore, be aware of this before you take your next bite. Some cheeses are quietly helping you, and others who are subtly opposing you. And you might be surprised to learn how much the difference means. Let's examine this together. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so now before we get started. To ensure you never miss another video created specifically for your life and health, press that button and turn on the bell. As usual, please type 1 in the comments if this is helpful. If not, enter 0 so that I can improve these videos even further for you. The first of the 3 cheeses that seniors should never touch may appear to be soft, creamy, and completely innocuous, but to older adults, it is anything but. First, processed cheese spreads. They are supple. They have a creamy texture. They slide over toast or melt into a sandwich with ease. They are comfort food for many of us, connected to lunches from our childhood, afternoon snacks, and simpler times. Now, however, you should be aware that these spreads are anything but safe for people over 60. In actuality, they rank among the most hazardous items that can be served on a plate. What appears to be cheese isn't actually cheese, not in any significant manner. These spreads are industrial creations, created by whipping low-quality dairy leftovers with food dyes, stabilizers, emulsifiers, and preservatives. And that cozy flavor? It is designed, not made. The cost of that convenience is that a single serving contains sodium levels so high that they can cause kidney strain. Additionally, this could subtly reverse any progress you've made if you're already controlling your blood pressure, even to a moderate degree. One of the worst offenders is sodium phosphate, which is poisonous to aging kidneys but is used to maintain a smooth texture. The National Kidney Foundation claims that regular consumption of phosphate additives hastens kidney damage, particularly in elderly people. Furthermore, this form of phosphorus burdens rather than nourishes, in contrast to the natural forms found in fish or beans. And then there's the fat. Trans fats can occasionally be just as harmful as saturated fat, which already interferes with a slower metabolism. Yes, the same partially hydrogenated oils that have been outlawed in numerous jurisdictions due to their links to inflammation, heart disease, and elevated LDL cholesterol. These fats cause joint inflammation, artery blockage, and cognitive impairment. Additionally, they are concealed in the very product that you may be mindlessly promoting. And it doesn't end there. Processed cheese spreads frequently have negligible protein and calcium content. In addition to ingesting something actively detrimental, you are also losing out on the chance to support your bones and muscles during the time in life when resilience and strength are most important. Every bite is a lost opportunity to protect, heal, and support the systems that are more in need of attention than ever. Even worse, the symptoms don't manifest as acute pains or urgent warning signals. They are subtle. You may experience a slight increase in fatigue. Your recollection may seem a little strange. Your lab results may indicate a slight increase in triglycerides or creatinine. Alarming people isn't enough until one day it is. You don't have to be afraid of food all the time. However, you must see it clearly. This type of cheese is not nourishing. It doesn't feed your brain or soothe your heart. Although it evokes memories of childhood, it leaves a burden your adult body cannot bear. Thus, it's possible that the taste will seem familiar. The ease of use could be alluring. However, your body has aged and become more intelligent. It requires actual food, not a plastic tub filled with chemical imitations. Because it's more than just cheese. It's an ingenious disguise. A shelf-stable combination of all the things your body doesn't want. Chemicals that constantly strain your organs, low nutrition, and high sodium. And wait if you find that disturbing. The next cheese on the menu is adorned with opulence, being presented on sophisticated platters and accompanied by wine or honey. But what's behind the glamour? There is a much more concealed threat, and much more grave. Please type 1 in the comments if you're still watching and find these insights useful. I want to know if you're with me. Let's continue. You might be surprised by the next cheese. Blue cheese is number 2. Gourmet flavor de peril. The name alone has the power to transport. Perhaps it's a sophisticated cheese board at a festive meal. Perhaps it's an elegant wedge melted into a steak sauce at your favorite restaurant or crumbled over a salad. There is a reputation for blue cheese. It's audacious. It's sophisticated. For those of us over 60, what's concealed within that marbled, moldy wedge may be doing far more harm than good, but it's a flavor for those with good taste. First, let's address the obvious. The blue veins. It's mold. In particular, a living mold known as penicillium. In addition to producing tyramine and histamine, 2 substances that aging bodies frequently struggle with, it is what gives blue cheese its distinct flavor and appearance. These are easily broken down by our bodies when we are young. However, after 60, that process drastically slows down. When enzymes aren't functioning as well, tyramine and histamine can accumulate in the body. Then what? Abrupt increases in blood pressure, heart palpitations, lightheadedness, even excruciating migraines. It's not uncommon. After eating a few crumbles of blue cheese, many seniors have ended up in the emergency room for reasons they were unaware of. It's an appetizer for a moment. The next is a ride in an ambulance. However, there are other threats as well. Since raw or unpasteurized milk is frequently used to make blue cheese, it is susceptible to listeria, which is even more harmful. This is more than a stomach ailment. In older adults with compromised immune systems, listeria is a dangerous bacterial infection that can result in meningitis, sepsis, and even death. What about the symptoms? They are not overt. A mild fever, exhaustion, perhaps a stomach ache. However, it can quickly worsen in seniors, and it may be too late by the time you recognize a problem. Let's now discuss sodium, because you need to pay attention if your blood pressure is high or even slightly elevated. Blue cheese has a lot of sodium. More than 400 milligrams of sodium are frequently found in 1 ounce. In just 1 slice, that amounts to almost 25% of your daily recommended intake. It doesn't seem like much. However, it quickly mounts up, particularly when served with salty crackers, cured meats, or in a dressing or on a salad. Its high saturated fat content, particularly in the creamier varieties, is another factor that negatively impacts your cardiovascular system. Saturated fats increase the risk of stroke, stiffen arteries, and raise LDL cholesterol. The irony is that it's all originating from a cheese that most people consider to be fancy or high quality. A minor indulgence could be causing serious harm: excess inflammation, instability of blood pressure, concealed infection, all from something you considered to be sophisticated. Therefore, the next time you see a salad topped with those decadent little crumbles or a wedge of blue cheese on a platter, stop and think. Keep in mind that not everything that is cared for is beneficial to the elderly. Luxury can occasionally come at a cost that you can no longer afford. You've come this far thanks to your heart, brain, and immune system. It is now your responsibility to keep them safe. And wait if you thought the main problem was mold. Since the next cheese doesn't appear to be gourmet, it doesn't have a strong scent, there is no fuss about it. It just quietly sits in the refrigerator, and for many elderly people, it's a daily occurrence. However, one smooth spoonful at a time, that quiet routine might be subtly harming you. Remain with me. Your perspective on breakfast may be permanently altered by what you're about to hear. 3. Cream cheese. The soft enemy you didn't anticipate. It's not brave. It doesn't smell. It has no complex flavors or warning labels. Especially if you're over 60, cream cheese is one of the most subtly reliable ingredients in the typical kitchen. It's in your bagel for breakfast, your preferred dip for the holidays, your favorite casserole. It is soft, comforting, and familiar. However, beneath that gentle exterior is something surprisingly detrimental, particularly to the aging body. Let's begin by discussing its composition. Cream cheese is high in saturated fat and low in healthy nutrients and protein. As your metabolism slows down and your body becomes more sensitive to what you eat, that combination can be dangerous. Cream cheese has very little nutritional value compared to other cheeses that provide gut-supporting probiotics or calcium that strengthens bones. It does provide dense, high-calorie fat, which your body may no longer be able to process effectively. What about that fat? It doesn't simply remain in your system in silence. It frequently builds up as visceral fat, which is the type of fat that surrounds your organs and sits deep in your abdomen. This kind of fat is most strongly associated with heart disease, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation. Even though you can't see it developing, you'll feel it. Gradual weight gain, lethargy, elevated blood sugar, and an inexplicable fogginess. Add sugar now. Because many types of flavored cream cheese, such as honey, strawberry, or walnut, have added sugars that are concealed beneath the sweetness. A tiny quantity can cause insulin to rise, upset your blood sugar balance, and set off inflammatory cycles that worsen with age. Your morning toast with that little flavored spread? It could explain why your energy levels plummet by mid-morning, or why your doctor constantly monitors your blood sugar levels at every checkup. Listeria, however, is arguably the most significant hidden risk associated with cream cheese that most people are unaware of. Yes, once more, cream cheese's soft texture and moist environment can make it a haven for dangerous bacteria, particularly if it is stored incorrectly or left out for an extended period of time. Listeria doesn't appear out of nowhere. It begins slowly. A headache, feeling queasy, perhaps some light fever or confusion. However, it can quickly turn into something lethal in elderly people with compromised immune systems. This has nothing to do with the fear of food. It all comes down to awareness. Cream cheese isn't bad. However, it is also not on your side. It isn't making it easier for you to move, think clearly, or remain independent and active. It's not boosting your strength. Rather, it's boosting the gradual deterioration that many people accept as just aging. But in reality, it's the result of years' worth of decisions. Every bite counts more when you're older than 60. You should eat food that honors your body, not deceive it. Food that helps you achieve your goals, not hinders them. There shouldn't be any unseen damage beneath the softness of your plate. And if you eat cream cheese every day, it's time to give it a closer look. Because, in reality, it's numbing you rather than nourishing you. It's time to change, though, now that we've identified the 3 cheeses that might be stealthily robbing you of your vitality, energy, and clarity. Because some cheeses have the ability to do just the opposite. They are modest, they are organic, they provide strong protection while being kind to your body. They're not feigning well-being. They're in good health. And long before there were fads for low-fat diets and trendy foods, they were subtly promoting the aging process in all the right ways. Are you prepared to share your plate with the cheeses that truly deserve it? Let's go on. Goat cheese is the first, a superfood that is gentle for the aging body. Goat cheese has a subdued dignity. In the dairy section, it doesn't shout for your attention. It doesn't have bright packaging or make claims about being heart-healthy or low-fat. Without a doubt, though, this unassuming, white, crumbly cheese is one of the most potent allies your body can have once you're over 60. Why? Due to goat cheese's inherent ease of digestion. It has a milder form of casein, the primary milk protein that frequently causes discomfort in older adults, and less lactose than cow's milk cheeses. Our body's ability to tolerate dairy products decreases with age. Even if you are not lactose intolerant, you might experience irregular digestion or bloating after eating cheese. Goat cheese helps with that. It passes easily through your system, is gentle on your stomach, and doesn't leave behind the gas, bloating, or lethargic sensation that heavier cheeses frequently do. However, digestion is only the first step. Medium-chain fatty acids, which your liver can immediately use for energy rather than storing as belly fat, make up the majority of the fats in goat cheese. For seniors, that is crucial. Your body is less able to burn fat and more likely to store it as your metabolism naturally slows down. Goat cheese's fats provide you with energy without making you feel weighed down. You feel lighter, clearer, more steady. There's more. Probiotics, zinc, and selenium nutrients that directly support tissue repair, immune function, and even mood regulation are abundant in goat cheese. These are not merely extra features. They are necessary. Seniors are more susceptible to depression, infection, and inflammation often as a result of gastrointestinal imbalances that start out mildly and get worse over time. Goat cheese aids in reestablishing equilibrium. Its probiotics aid in replenishing your gut with healthy bacteria, which guards against everything from colds to cognitive decline. It even has omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin A, which have been associated with reduced rates of neurodegenerative disease, improved memory, and increased focus. It's not ostentatious. However, it functions in silence, efficiently, every day. The best part is that goat cheese doesn't have to be difficult. It can be crumbled over roasted veggies. On a piece of whole grain toast, spread it. Add it to an omelet and stir. Put it in a salad. No matter how you like it, you're adding more than just taste, you're adding utility. You're making dietary choices that promote graceful aging rather than resistance. As we age, we become increasingly aware of a crucial fact. Our feelings after eating are equally as significant as our feelings during eating. You won't feel bloated or exhausted after eating goat cheese. It doesn't put a strain on your kidneys or alter blood sugar levels. It simply provides support. Gently, dependable, with strength. Check out the neon tubs and the gleaming slices the next time you're at the store. Instead, visit the modest little log of goat cheese. It might not seem like much, but it contains more clarity, strength, and peace of mind than any processed cheese ever could. Wait until you meet the cheese that subtly protects your heart, bones, and mind bite after bite. If you think goat cheese is amazing, most likely, you've seen it on sandwiches all your life. However, you might not have recognized how well suited it is for this phase of your journey. Let's examine it more closely. Swiss cheese is number 2, a subtle shield for the mind and heart of the elderly. It doesn't require notice. It doesn't brag about its advantages. However, one of the most underappreciated protectors in your entire refrigerator is Swiss cheese, which is mild, nutty, and adorned with those recognizable holes. Particularly if you're older than 60. Due to its quiet nature, Swiss cheese is frequently disregarded. It lacks the flair of feta and the tang of goat cheese. However, the nutritional profile that lies behind that mild flavor reads like a specially designed recipe for senior health. Let's start by discussing sodium. At about 54 milligrams per ounce, Swiss cheese has some of the lowest sodium content of any cheese available for purchase. You'll notice the difference right away if you compare that to something like blue cheese or cheddar. This is important for seniors who are managing high blood pressure. A great deal. Every lower sodium slice, crumble, and cube lessens the strain on your kidneys and heart. Without the blood pressure spike or the slow deterioration of your arteries, you can still enjoy the pleasure of eating cheese. However, that is only the start. Vitamin K2, which many seniors are unaware they are lacking, is naturally abundant in Swiss cheese. What makes K2 so crucial? Because it keeps calcium out of your arteries and helps direct it to the proper locations in your body, such as your bones. Insufficient K2 can cause calcium to accumulate in the blood vessel walls, a condition known as arterial calcification, which is a risk factor for heart disease and stroke. Take a moment to consider that. Swiss cheese is more than just food for your body. It is guiding traffic, keeping your arteries clear and your bones strong. That isn't considered a luxury. It's a subtle form of healing magic. Additionally, rich in calcium, vitamin B12, and protein, Swiss cheese helps prevent bone loss, muscle atrophy, and cognitive decline. These are the same nutrients that support mental clarity, balance, and speedier recovery from disease or trauma. Additionally, Swiss cheese is naturally low in lactose due to its aging process, which makes it easier for people who have grown sensitive to it to digest. Its bacterial cultures, however, may offer the most underappreciated advantage of all. As it ages, traditional Swiss cheese, particularly those made with Propionibacterium freudenreichii, produces unique anti-inflammatory compounds. These reduce systemic inflammation, soothe the immune system, and may even guard against neurodegeneration. To put it another way, Swiss cheese aids in the silent wars your body fights on a daily basis. It accomplishes all of this without the use of artificial additives. No food coloring, no emulsifiers, no chemicals that you are unable to pronounce. Real, aged cheese prepared the way it has been for many generations. You can eat a few cubes with some fresh fruit as a snack, melt it into a veggie bake, or add it to a sandwich. Regardless of your preference, you will be providing your body with nutrients that it can use rather than ones that it must resist. Swiss cheese is the devoted protector standing silently between you and the dangers of aging, if goat cheese is the soft healer. It is devoted but not noisy, not ostentatious, but fierce in its own right. One bite at a time, a slice of protection. And if you think that's strong, wait until you meet the cheese that has been subtly promoting mental clarity, gut balance, and bone strength for thousands of years long before these qualities were even recognized by modern medicine. Despite its modesty, it has a reputation for being healthy that is difficult to match. Let's examine. Third, Feta cheese. Sturdy simplicity that crumbled. The packaging isn't very colorful. It isn't the focus of popular food trends or television commercials. However, Feta cheese settingy, crumbly, and subtly potent offers a form of nutrition that is both ancient and profoundly modern in its advantages for those of us over 60. Feta, which is traditionally made from sheep's milk or a sheep-goat blend, has a protein structure that is easier for the aging gut to digest and is naturally lower in lactose. Even if we had no issues as children, the body's ability to tolerate heavy, cow's milk-based cheeses tends to deteriorate as we age. That bloated feeling you know so well? The delayed digestion? The pain following dairy? Feta stays away from everything. It passes through your system without any drama or disturbance. However, its benefits extend well beyond digestion. The three elements that your body needs in later life to maintain strong bones, stable nerves, and muscle strength: calcium, protein, and vitamin B12 are all abundant in Feta cheese. These are not merely nice-to-haves. They are necessary for mental clarity, balance, and mobility. You want to flourish during these years, not just get by. Feta is in favor of that goal. And it doesn't end there. Since Feta is a fermented brined cheese, it is a great source of probiotics. There is more to these good bacteria than just aiding in digestion. They restore your gut microbiome, the intricate, imperceptible ecosystem in your intestines that influences mood, inflammation, and immunity. The gut frequently becomes unbalanced as we age, particularly if we take medication. What time and prescriptions may have eroded can be restored with a daily sprinkle of Feta. But isn't Feta salty? You may be asking yourself. It does have a noticeable salty taste, but the important thing is that the serving size is small and that the sodium content can be considerably decreased by washing the Feta in cold water before serving. All of the flavor and health benefits can be obtained with just a few crumbles over roasted vegetables, in a warm salad, or on a plate with tomatoes and olives. What about the taste? It is living. It's tangy, sharp, and satisfying in a way that affects the tongue as well as the emotions. Feta serves as a reminder that cuisine can be both elegant and simple, useful and delectable. It's heritage-based nourishment, a cheese that has endured over time due to its emotional impact rather than its marketing. We don't need any more food trends at this point in our lives. Kind, intelligent, and stable food is what we need. Feta is a good fit. It makes you feel better rather than worse. It calms rather than agitates. It doesn't act like it's something it's not. One bite at a time, it quietly supports your gut, brain, and body. You've met them now. Your body can trust these 3 cheeses. Goat cheese, for clean energy and easy digestion. Swiss cheese, for strong bones and heart protection. Additionally, feta supports the immune system, mental clarity, and gut balance. Don't stop there though, because understanding which cheeses to avoid is equally as important as understanding which ones to enjoy. Our bodies require better food as we age, not more. And cheese can be one of the most effective tools in your health toolbox if you choose it carefully. Together, let's consider that. Cheese turns into a decision between harm and healing that goes beyond taste. Growing older is about more than just tracking the years. It's about learning about your body in a way you've never had to before. Sodium makes your heart more sensitive. Inflammation is more likely to occur in your joints. Your immune system isn't functioning as well. Your stomach? It's not a request for punishment, but for kindness. Additionally, every bite of food you eat either adds to or depletes your strength. For many people, cheese has always been a comfort food. It might still be. Perhaps it brings back memories of family dinners, crackers, wine, and grilled sandwiches from your youth. It is connected to routines and memories. Comfort, however, must change now. Because at 70, something that was innocuous at 30 can subtly turn dangerous. Spreads that have been processed? They are chemicals, not comfort. That pretty blue cheese wedge? It may be causing you to age more quickly than you think. That creamy, sweet cream cheese on your bagel in the morning? It's depriving your body of genuine support while raising your blood sugar levels. However, the change does not imply a loss of happiness. Better joy is what it means to choose. Because there are cheeses, real cheeses, that restore your vitality, calm your mind, and shield your organs rather than overload them. They have always been with us. Goat cheese, Swiss, feta. All of them are easy. They're all strong. Each one is a tiny step toward more vitality, stronger bones, and better thinking for the years to come. The best part is that it's never too late. You can begin right now. Anything that no longer serves you can be removed. You can stock your refrigerator with foods that celebrate the body you've inhabited, the memories you've created, and the life you still wish to live to the fullest. Each plate is an opportunity to select longevity, to decide on clarity, to decide on health. Because being able to age well does not entail limitations. It doesn't imply melancholy or self-denial. It denotes improvement. It entails accepting wholesome, nutrient-dense foods that support your body rather than contradict it. And that's for the people who care about you, not just for you, those who rely on you. The people who continue to seek your counsel, humor, and wisdom. Now is your moment to set an example, to demonstrate that grace is not merely an event. One wise choice at a time, we build it. Therefore, consider whether the food you eat now is contributing to or detracting from your future. Awareness is the first step in the solution. Choice is the next step. You are worthy of feeling alive. You are worthy of feeling resilient. Your life should be fueled by food, not subtly depleting it. Allow your food to convey the consideration, purpose, and deference you've gained throughout your life. Since every choice is now, it's a bit more important. And it's wisdom, not fear, that matters when it comes to cheese. I would love to hear from you now. Which of the lessons you learned today will you use in your own life? Let's encourage one another on this path to healthier living, more sensible eating, and a strong, purposeful aging process by leaving a comment below. Type 1 in the comments if this video was helpful to you. If not, enter 0 and tell me how we can make these better for you. For more useful health advice designed especially for seniors who wish to live well and feel their best, remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. Let's live with strength, clarity, and the happiness that comes from giving your body the nourishment it needs. I'll see you at the next one.